Along one of the furthest western corners of the East Coast lie down a few subdivisions for decent train action at spots with great scenery to be withheld, and the two that I speak of particularly are the more on the north side of things, the CSX Erie West subdivision and the Norfolk Southern Lake Erie district, which both run along the coast of Lake Erie. In today's video, me and a large group of friends travel out and check out some good locations of these two lines while also trying to catch as many trains as possible in 2 days. First up, we start around Erie, Pennsylvania, where the GE testing track runs across this one road on a very windy day, where it also parallels with the Erie West and Lake Erie district. But they were running anything this day because it was Easter weekend, but we still managed to catch 2 CSX trains, one of which having a YN2 AC44 leader. And once those 2 trains have passed, we then see a local racing across the NS Lake Erie district, which has something rather odd in its overall consist.
Dude, what was that thing? What was that?
New York's subway car.
Oh, interesting. That's quite neat. Will that local come back, or was that the return trip? Alright, well, that was cool.
Yeah, that was quite interesting to see that, and even the Longhood Ford SD40E for that matter. But moments later, we decided to relocate to northeast Pennsylvania, a spot that I've been wanting to check out for a long time, where the 2 Lake Erie lines closely parallel each other as well. But the next train we catch for this day was that same NS local we just saw in Erie, but the lead unit has been flipped.
drop those tankers off right there.
And soon after that passed, the action on the CSX line started to pick back up, featuring some foreign power on a bomb train. So then, I realized that these two videos I show now were actually the only videos I filmed in Northeast PA, but that's okay, because now we then move on to the main course of spots that we had planned. Westfield, New York, a small town with basically a wide open playground to chill and watch the trains go by on the Lake Erie lines at the Gale Road grade crossings just out of town, with beautiful scenery all around too. But with that said, the show must go on with the action, starting with the CSX Intermodal and then a NS train soon after.
Because it was funny. Shite. That's not a bad word, by the way.
What about ambitus?
None. No.
You have a good zoom, like over there. You go up farther, like you can get a shot of the tree.
Milepost 59.0. No defects.
That's it. No axles, no nothing.
It sounds like a Mac almost.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like a mix of a Mac.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got that in video. Well, I take that back. Apparently it's still windy.
Now for this next NS train that was coming for us, I decided to try out something new for a shot, and was to catch it over this neat trestle that lies just east from our spot, though the shot sounded better in my head. And once that was through, after some time of waiting, we then got word of a totally unexpected train that was heading our way, and this one was pretty saucy too. A CSX military train that came from somewhere out of Florida. Talk about gate-kept info and great luck coming together. And once that military train cleared, it then met with I-165 down the line with its usual CP power. And with that said, the action must roll on, featuring more cool lash-ups on CSX, as well as sneaky trains on the NS Lake Erie district. Well, both lines for that matter. And oh, shall I mention the neat meet we later got on CSX?
Oh, I was looking at M37.
Right,
I wonder why, Hoss.
Alright, auto rack train cleared.
Got you in doing something funky. I think so. I gotta look back. Holy sh... Man, I don't think I've experienced a train meet like that where both trains were absolutely booking it. That was cool.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see if we'll get another restricting. Let's see. I'm gonna keep the video rolling in case we do.
Saying the J word.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And I will have to censor it. Did I just feel rain?
Stop following me,
Bro. Instead of you summoned rain. Okay. What was this sound?
Are you still filming?
Yes, and I'm cutting all that out. Maybe I won't. Why is my videos at NS so bad? Man.
As time continued to roll on, the sun decided to start heading out, but the action had yet to stop on CSX. Me railfanning on this line before around northeastern Ohio, I don't think I've ever seen the Erie West sub to be this busy. And the final train we catch to end off day 1 was this rerouted coal train on the CSX Erie West sub, which I have to say was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was pretty neat.
The very next day, we came back to Westfield only to nearly get immediately greeted with a quick and sneaky NS Intermodal with an old Dash 9 liter. Though, unfortunately, unlike yesterday, the weather wasn't totally by our side this time, which gave a lot of trains this day the fair game to sneak up on us. But, that's fine. We still all tried our best to get what we can.
Yeah, it is some rare power.
Though once this intermodal cleared, we then get a CSX manifest that snuck up on us, which had a familiar leader that was once seen around my home state.
Flat spot check. I dare you all to try to spot that Easter egg. Anyway. Happy Easter. Coming back from breakfast after the rain and then get immediately greeted with the train that you cannot pose up for a shot. Alright, let's just move on to the next train. Hey. No more fighting. Get to position.
Yeah, I'm 2 cents north.
Alright, and once we got those trains, we then get word of a couple more saucy CSX trains coming our way. First up being a manifest with an Amtrak Jeep trailing, boasting its rather fresh Phase 7 paint scheme. And yes, if you listen closely, the Jeep was actually idling on this train.
Yeah, bro. There's a train. No.
He's crashing out now.
Nah, he's crashing out.
And right after that, we then get a westbound manifest with a pretty gnarly lash up, featuring yet another YN2 AC44 liter, this time with quite possibly the most pathetic horn I've ever heard. as the action continued to roll on, so did the shenanigans. One thing being our good friend here, Connor, pulling a Millennium Force.
Connor, no. You're not gonna be like Millennium Force. Dude. Okay. Yeah!
Oh, yeah!
What are you doing? What are you... I think he is a little speed. Bro almost just got hit by a blonde girl driving box Ford. Ah, whatever. Okay. You're just gonna keep cussing every time I'm filming?
Hi, YouTube.
Yeah.
Ah,
And I took like 2 clips and you cussed in both of them. Whatever.
Jaden, you stop!
Alright, too bad. I covered up the mic. Alright, well, we got a cool little side-by-side meet. Shame that I did not run fast enough to get the side-by-side shot, but we got something cool in NS, so that doesn't matter.
And once we snagged all of those trains, me and my friend I brought with then decided to go try out this newer spot further east from where we just were, which is this old building that lied next to the NS Lake Erie district just around downtown Westfield. And here we would see some CSX action in the distance, and as for NS, we would get a quick and short intermodal and a manifest with CN power.
Yeah, 28B. Wow, those rail joints sounded pretty cool. All right, let's wait for our next one.
And soon after those pass, we will then go back to the Gale Road crossings of Westfield, where we get another rerouted coal train on the Erie West sub, as well as an awesome NS and CSX meet to end off day 2.
Yo, he's right here. Mike!
Yeah, get over here.
Fun fact, that train that you just saw right there and the train that I put in the frame before that were not the same train. I know that was pointless, but I was just bored. Right. Nose out. Well, dang. Would have been a great time to get my tripod, but of course, trains have to sneak through here usually. Oh well. Thanks for watching, and if you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment below if you guys want to see more East Coast content from me, or wherever else I could afford for now. But, wherever I may go next, I hope to see y'all trackside. Over and out.